Previously, on Talk That Talk.
There were certain things that you just didn't do back then that now it's like that's acceptable, right? I went back for homecoming. It must have been 20, maybe 12, 13, something like that or whatever. Um, we never really had IOTAs on campus, and it's not a shot to them. But when it eventually there was a line of IOTAs that came in, right, and they did the whole holding them up, with three people, whatever. They brought a bottle of Ciroc out on the floor and poured it in somebody's mouth, and it was like,
No.
you can't be serious. Like that's not even like that's not even like attractive. Like, it's not even like a sexy thing to do. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Right?
At the show?
At the show, right? And the president was there, and I was like, man, okay, I'm done with this. Like, because you had different standards, right?
You didn't drink it.
And I'm sure Jafar could tell you, like, literally, we had to dress a certain way, right?
Yeah.
You can't walk on grass. You can't do these things. We couldn't talk to females, like, so it was more or less like, it was just more or less you spend that time and you dedicate what you're doing to what you're getting ready to join, right? So you appreciate this shit later on. This and again, it's not a shot at whoever, I'm sure new people got their new way of doing things, but it's just a whole lot different.
I done heard some stuff in my life, but that's a new one on me. Wow.
Larry, what were you going to say? I'm very interested to hear what you had to say, sir.
I was gonna go to Portia, but Larry, go ahead.
I was gonna piggyback. One thing about Prairie View is if you go to Prairie View, man, you learn a lot about every fraternity, and if you don't, you really don't have love for the fraternity aspect and the actual brotherhood and what all fraternities represent, especially historically Black fraternities. It was last year I met a gentleman, and he had, I had some type of paraphernalia that he knew I was a Cap, and he started kind of like talking noise to me, man. I was like, hey, what fraternity are you a part of? And he was like, no, I'm not a part of no fraternity, but I am going to be a part of. I was like, what fraternity are you going to be a part of? Let me hear this now. He was like, oh man, I tried to be an Omega at Prairie View. And I said, oh, okay. You didn't make it? You didn't go through? He was like, no, they didn't pick me. And
then you need to be quiet.
Wait. But no, so at Prairie View, and I don't want to speak on anyone's chapter, I have the utmost respect for everyone, but like having friends and really close friends at a time at Prairie View, like you just went, and if you stayed long enough for Omega, you made it. I had never, this was the first time I had ever heard someone actually say I wasn't picked. Like the dudes that I went to school with, they were like, nah, we walked in the house and we never left. And until we had some letters to show for the work we put in. And so just to hear that, I was like, dang, I think Omega is going through some changes. Like something different here. Like this brother said he wasn't picked. I was like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if he was lying, but just to hear that, I was like, yeah.
I want to say something, but I do want Portia to go. What you was about to say, Portia?
Y'all are, again, I learned so much on this show that I'm just baffled by this alcohol and this somebody who not in saying something to me about an organization is weird. I don't even know how I would react to that. But what I was going to say, as an undergraduate advisor, I have these conversations all the time. And they look at us like we have three heads. Like we don't know what we're talking about. And I'm going to tell you, honestly, what I found works best is to give them just enough rope to hang themselves. Some lessons are better learned through experience because we could talk till we blue in the face, but we give them just enough rope, not to violate any policies or procedures, but you want to do it your way, go ahead. And 9 times out of 10, they fail. And then they come back and say, well, how do we fix it? Or what were you trying to say? Because again, they do think, our way of doing things is foreign. what was is not the same, and our perspective is skewed. But 9 times out of 10, also, I can't speak to how any other organization runs. Zeta is very structured. They have rules and regulations for everything. So this isn't my rule. This is, I could tell you the page, the column, and everything to go find it. Because if you don't want to operate, and they get mad because I'll be like, well, if you don't want to operate like a Zeta, you should have went and did something else. This existed before you. It existed before me, and it shall exist after us. God be willing. So what I'm saying is, we have gotten to the point. I just want to say again, this is my last semester doing this. Yes, we're exiting stage left because it is too different for me. But I found that it works best if they find these things out for themselves.